Hey y'all, welcome back to Notes and Nectar with Champagne. I'm so glad you're here because we're discussing something that affects millions of families across this country. The Trump administration recently made the decision to end a $1 billion program that allowed food banks and schools to buy fresh food from local farmers. This was a critical program that helped address food insecurity and supported by local economies. But now that it's gone, we have to ask the question, what does this mean for families who depend on these food banks? What does it mean for schools that provided meals for students? And how will this impact the Black farmers who have already been fighting for fair opportunities in agriculture? I'm going to break it all down, talk about why this decision is so harmful, and most importantly, what we can do to overcome it as a community. Let's start by talking about why this decision is a big deal. This program wasn't just about food, it was about making sure people had access to fresh, healthy food rather than being forced to rely on heavily processed, less nutritious options. For food banks, this program meant that they could provide fruits, vegetables, dairy, and meats to families in need instead of just canned goods and boxed meals. With this funding now gone, food banks might struggle to maintain the same level of support. For schools, this program ensured that the children had access to meals that fueled their learning. Now, with the budget cut, schools may have to turn to cheaper, lower quality options, which can have a serious impact on children's health, well-being, and academic performance. And then there's the impact on Black farmers, many of them dependent on this program to sell their produce and sustain their farms. Black farmers already make up less than 2% of all farmers in the U.S., and they face historical discrimination and lack of access to land, loans, and business opportunities. Losing this program means even fewer chances to compete in the market. Now, I want to talk about some of the broader economic effects as well. By cutting off this funding, we're disrupting local food systems and making it harder for small farmers to survive. Instead of keeping money within the community, we're seeing a shift towards mass-produced, corporate-controlled food sources. This decision is also contributing to a bigger crisis: food deserts. If you're unfamiliar with the term, food deserts are areas where fresh and affordable food is scarce. And guess what? Black and brown communities are the ones that are most affected. This decision is just another roadblock, making it harder for these communities to thrive. So now that we've laid out the problem, let's talk about some real life solutions. Because one thing we're not going to do is just sit by and accept this. Number one, we can support Black farmers directly. There are farmers markets, community-supported agriculture programs, and even online platforms where you can order fresh produce. A few great directories to find Black-owned farms include the Black Farmers Index, the National Black Farmers Association, and Eat Black Owned. If you have the means, consider purchasing from these farmers or donating to organizations that connect farmers with food insecure communities. Number two, even though federal funding has been cut, we can push for state and city level programs that restore some of that support. Contacting local representatives and encouraging them to fund urban farming, food co-ops, and local agricultural initiatives is key. Some cities are already introducing food sovereignty policies, and we need to push for more. Also, we can support and volunteer at food banks. With federal funding gone, food banks will need even more help. That means we can step up by volunteering our time to support and distribute food, organizing food drives in our communities, donating fresh, locally grown produce whenever possible. Number four, if you have space, even if it's just a small backyard or a neighborhood plot, you can grow fresh food and share it. Community gardens help fill the gap left by grocery store shortages. Some neighborhoods even have food co-ops where members contribute a small amount and get access to farm fresh food at a lower cost. Number 5, let's not remember to use our voice and platforms. If you're watching this and you're on social media, spread awareness about this issue. Many people don't even know that this program has been cut. Use your voice to share petitions, educate your audience, call out lawmakers, and demand action. We have to stay vocal and engaged to make sure that these issues don't get swept under the rug as they normally do. This situation is frustrating to say the least, but one thing I know for sure, we are a resilient people. When systems fail us, we find a way to build our own. That's what our ancestors did, and that's what we're going to continue to do. I do want to hear from you guys. How do you think we can fight food insecurity in our communities? Do you know any Black-owned farms or local food programs we should support? Please drop it in the comment section below and let's bring awareness and talk about it. And as always, if you found this conversation helpful, please hit the like button and share this video with your network. And don't forget to subscribe for more discussions on issues that matter to us. I do want to thank y'all for watching Notes and Nectar with Champagne. Let's keep this conversation going, because when we support each other, we all rise together. Stay connected and stay inspired.